The 2026 COLA estimate just climbed to 2.7%, but some experts are warning that it still won't be enough to keep up with rising costs. Welcome to Social Security This Week. My name is Lou Reyes, and today I'm going to be talking about the new COLA estimate for 2026. Now, I'll also be discussing a new bill that could reopen Social Security offices, maybe cut those long wait times, and possibly raise the taxable income cap. Plus, we'll also be discussing paper checks. We know that they will be disappearing for most recipients in just a few weeks, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know about that. And really, if you still need a paper check, well, we'll talk about that too. But before I dive into the details, I want to take a look at some key dates that you might want to circle on your Social Security calendar. Date number one, September 30th, 2025. It's all Social Security payments will transition to electronic only disbursements. And I just touched on that a little bit in the opening, but yeah, September 30th, circle that on your calendar, my friends. Let me just check that for you here. But yeah, circle it. That might be an important for a lot of you folks out there. But the big date that I think is important to almost all of us if we're on Social Security is October 15th. So circle that date on your calendar. That's the date of the official announcement of the 2026 cost of living adjustment, or COLA as we lovingly call it. But yeah, circle that date. Now there's another date that we missed. Unfortunately, because we came out today on Friday, we missed yesterday's big birthday. Social Security 90th birthday was yesterday on August 14th, 1935. President Franklin Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act into law. And yeah, 90 years ago today. And my guess, you know what? My guess is that Mr. Roosevelt, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, is probably turning over in his grave with all the turmoil in the program today. Yeah, was yesterday was the birthday. So happy birthday, happy belated birthday. But for now, let's just dive into today's Social Security news. And first up, let's get back to that Social Security cost of living adjustment. It could go up to 2.7% in 2026. And this is according to the latest estimate. I'm going to give you my guess later on in this program here. But yeah, you could be looking at a 2.7% cost of living adjustment, which is slightly higher than the 2.5% boost that retirees receive for 2025. And this new estimate, it comes from a reputable organization, the Senior Citizens League. It's an organization that I trust completely. I follow them for years. They're an advocacy group. They released their latest prediction after the Bureau of Labor Statistics posted July's inflation numbers earlier this week. And for those of us who are new, if you're new to the COLA, you want to know how it works. Well, every year, the Social Security Administration uses inflation data from July, August, and September to set the increase for the following year. And the goal, at least as I understand it, the goal is to help benefits keep pace with inflation. That's a noble goal, right? But yeah, we know how that works out for most of us. Anyway, this year's official announcement is expected on October 15th, with the change taking effect in January of 2026. Now, just to give you some perspective here, okay? This year's 2.5% COLA, it translated into about $49 or more per month for the average retiree. And I've been producing videos here on Over 50 TV for about 6 years now, talk a lot about Social Security, as most of you know. And I can tell you that there were some folks who were really upset about that number, that small, paltry little 2.5%. And I'm sure they won't be much happier with the 2.7%. But that's what we got. This is what we're at, what it's looking like anyway. But it won't be final. The numbers aren't final until they're final, and that won't happen for a few more months yet. But yeah, we'll wait and see. But I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. Go ahead, make a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. If this is something that you're disappointed with, if you're happy with, but let me know that. But listen, this is really a good time for me to introduce a new program called Social Security Buddy. It's an all-in-one resource for Social Security and retirement planning. It's something that I created, and I created it to help end the frustration that many of you out there are feeling. Many of my over 50 TV viewers are telling me, when it comes to Social Security, they're tired of long hold times, they're tired of drop calls, they're tired of getting confusing answers. And with this program I created, it's called Social Security Buddy. Well, you'll get instant AI powered answers. You'll get breaking news alerts as the news happens, and important Social Security news. You're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it with Social Security Buddy. You're also going to get weekly retirement tips, and you'll get monthly live streams where I go into, or me and the staff and experts go into the program, Social Security program details, and we give you answers back. We do it live. It's all live. Now, a subscription to Social Security Buddy is just $2.95 a month. But I want to be clear about something because I don't want to confuse you. Social Security Buddy doesn't access your personal records. And of course, this is for your protection. So if you do have a question about your monthly payment, how come it's so low? Why is it different? Or if you're waiting on a letter, well, you're still going to need to contact Social Security directly. But for the questions that you need help with, so you can plan ahead, so you can make a smart choice, so you can feel confident about your future, well, Social Security Buddy, it's a total game changer. And again, I created it because of all the comments, hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of comments over the years. Finally, I said, let's try to do something. But you can check out the link in the description box of this video if you want to get some details. Let's get back to the news now. Now, as of September 30th, 2025, I touched on this. The government is switching to electronic payments only. No more paper checks for most people. And you might say, well, why? Why are they doing this? Well, they, as in our government officials, say it's faster, it's safer, and it saves them money. Although when I consider they're spending millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on projects I don't understand it. I just wonder about that. Anyway, electronic payments means you'll need to set up direct deposit or get a direct express card. Now, people over 90 or somebody without a bank account or bank access can make a request to keep getting checks. I've got a link in the description box of this video to the SSA website. It's ssa.gov/deposit. And I put that link in there so you can check it out if you're one of those folks out there who want to keep getting that paper check, or maybe you don't have a checking account. Now, I'm going to give you a little trivia question. I thought this would be kind of nice. The Social Security Administration actually began piloting direct deposit in the 1970s. And they were one of the earliest government programs to embrace electronic payments. So it's nothing really new, I suppose, at least in terms of electronic payments. But what is new is they're going to end the paper checks unless you make a special request. So let's get on to the next topic here. There is a new Social Security proposal that you're going to need to know about. And it's making headlines, but it's also making some waves in Washington. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, well, he has announced the Keep Billionaires Out of Social Security Act. And I think it's a apropos title for his act, I suppose. But it's a bill, he says, is aimed at reversing the deep cuts in Social Security services and modernizing the program, which is something that I think we need to do. We all need to do. And of course, that's why I created Social Security Buddy. But the bill's purpose is pretty straightforward. Schumer wants to restore staffing levels, and he says he wants to protect in-person access, which is important. How many folks out there have written me recently and complained about that? He also wants to improve the Social Security Administration's technology and service delivery, and with the problems that they've been having, I can see why this is important. But listen, among his key provisions, the bill's key provisions are this. He says no more office closures without Congress signing off. I think that's important. Would be nice. He says rehire thousands of laid off SSA workers to cut long wait times and improve the service. I'd also like to see that myself. $5 billion a year for technology upgrades. That's what he wants. He says it's going to reduce the backlogs and it's going to improve customer service. And I agree. It'd be nice. We wouldn't need Social Security Buddy if we really had an efficient program. But yeah, I still think we're going to need it anyway. Anyway, he says another thing, a key provision is stronger data protection to prevent political interference. I'm not really quite sure what he meant by that. I didn't dig deep into that, but maybe that's something I will do in a future episode here. He also wants to limit benefit clawbacks caused by Social Security's administrative errors. If you pay attention to any of the news lately, you see that some folks Yeah, they were paid money every month and they had to give money back. It's called a benefit clawback. They had to give money back because the government overpaid them. They made an administrative error. And I've had some people out there write me and comment and say, Lou, too bad for them. They're not keeping on top of how much money they're getting. But you know what? They're told that they get an increase. They're told they get an increase. And then next thing they know, now they're getting it administered. They're saying, well, there was an administrative error, so we're going to have to claw back some of the money. I don't think it's the person necessarily the person who receives the funds. I don't think it's their fault from what I've read and understand. And if you understand better, let me know. But I don't believe it's their fault. But when you got to pay back tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars and you're only living on your Social Security check, that's a problem. So if you don't see that, well, then you know what? Write me and tell me. Now, another thing he says is let's raise the taxable earnings cap to bring in more revenue. And I totally agree with this. Totally agree. I've written about it many times, talked about it here on the channel. But the Keep Billionaires Out of Social Security Act comes after what Schumer calls, and we all know, we're damaging cuts under Doge. It includes a reported 12% drop in Social Security Administration staff and a 20% reduction in field office employees. And these cuts, according to Schumer, according to what we read and according to what I know from talking to you, he said they fueled 2 to 3 hour phone waits, dropped calls, and repeated website outages. I've read about this numerous times. It's ridiculous. This is our government. They've got an antiquated system. It needs to be updated. Now, Schumer plans to formally introduce the Keep Billionaires Out of Social Security Act when the Senate reconvenes in September. And what do I say about that? I say good luck with that, Mr. Schumer, because with the two sides of the aisle not coming together for just about anything nowadays, I think that's something that yeah, good luck with that, Mr. Schumer. So that's all I've got for you for today's Social Security this week. I'd love to hear your questions. I'd love to hear your comments. So be sure to share them below and also do this for me. Don't forget to check out Social Security Buddy. You'll find the link in the description box. It is a great way for you to stay informed and get the answers that you need fast. I created it for you. Check it out. See if it's something that you feel could help you. I'm going to be adding a lot more benefits to it over time, a lot more features. So I think it's something that everyone's going to want and going to need. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscription button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update that could impact your benefits and just could impact your wallet. Yeah, so subscribe. Now, I'm going to be back next Friday with more Social Security news, more updates that you can trust. But until then, take care, my friends. I'm going to see you next week. And as I'll say, have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you're doing something fun. Hope you're doing something exciting. Hope you're doing something relaxing. Take care, everyone. See you later.